What if Yoriichi and Michikatsu are reincarnated? In this timeline, Michikatsu is born in the place of Muichiro Tokito, while Yoriichi is born as Yuichiro's counterpart. But the question is, would Michikatsu betray Yoriichi again? How would Infinity Castle go? Would Yoriichi be able to finally kill Muzan this time? And most importantly, what would the meeting between Yoriichi, Michikatsu, and Kokushibo be like? Born in their same bloodline, both twins open their eyes to see a calm house between mountains. Yoriichi is still born with a Demon Slayer mark, but soon everything goes dark when both of their parents die. The twins are left alone. Even as children, their personalities remain unchanged from their previous lives. Yoriichi is kind, gentle, protective. Michikatsu is cold, distant, prideful. Yoriichi constantly tries to take care of Michikatsu, cooking for him, cutting wood for him, making medicine whenever he gets sick. But instead of feeling grateful, Michikatsu hates it. To him, Yoriichi's kindness feels insulting, like pity. Every time Yoriichi protected him, it reminded him that he was weaker, and deep inside, that fear slowly became hatred. One night, everything changed. A demon entered their home. The wooden walls shattered apart as the creature crawled inside with blood-red eyes and twisted limbs. The smell of death fills the room instantly. Michikatsu froze. For the first time in his life, he experienced true terror. The demon grabbed him by the throat and slammed him into the floor, while laughing about how fragile humans were. Yoriichi stepped between them, barefoot, unarmed, and for the first time since his reincarnation, his body moved on instinct. The mark on his forehead ignited like burning flames. His breathing changed. The air around him became unbearably hot. Without understanding what he was doing, Yoriichi grabbed an axe and moved faster than the demon could even perceive. One strike. The demon's arm flew off. Second strike. Its head rolled across the floor. The demon disintegrated while screaming in fear. Michikatsu stared at his younger brother in complete disbelief. Not admiration, fear. The same fear he once felt hundreds of years ago. News of the mysterious child quickly reached Kagaya Ubuyashiki. The master personally brought both brothers into the Demon Slayer Corps, and from that moment, history slowly began repeating itself. Yoriichi's growth was monstrous. Within months, he surpassed experienced slayers. Within a year, he mastered a breathing style nobody had ever seen before: sun breathing. But there was a problem. This new body was not the perfect body he once possessed during the Sengoku era. Every time he used sun breathing, his muscles burned from inside. Veins ruptured beneath his skin. His lungs felt like they were melting. The stronger his techniques became, the more his own body rejected them. Meanwhile, Michikatsu watched all of this happen again. The gap between them kept growing, and once more, envy consumed him. Unlike Yoriichi, Michikatsu chose a different path. He secretly began studying demons, their regeneration, their blood, their abilities. He wanted power by any means necessary. If talent alone could not surpass Yoriichi, then knowledge would. Eventually, both brothers became Hashira. The Corps viewed them as legendary twins, but beneath the surface, their bond was slowly cracking apart. Events involving Tanjiro Kamado and Nezuko Kamado continue mostly the same, until the Mugen train mission. This time, Yoriichi himself is assigned to investigate. Because the Corps believes only the Sun Breather can face an upper moon, Tanjiro accompanies him due to his connection with Hinokami Kagura. Inside the train, Enmu attacks relentlessly using his dream blood demon art. But Tanjiro uses Hinokami Kagura, Yoriichi uses sun breathing. Their flames intertwine, and Enmu is completely decapitated before he knows what is happening. But before they can rest, the air suddenly becomes heavy. A smile appears in the darkness. Akaza arrives. The battle against Akaza becomes horrifying. The upper moon instantly notices Yoriichi's potential and attacks him directly. Shockwaves split apart the forest. Entire sections of the ground explode from Akaza's punches. Yoriichi counters with sun-breathing forms, but every movement tears apart his muscles from internal burning. Akaza laughs. He realizes this Yoriichi is incomplete, weaker, human. For the first time in centuries, Akaza feels excitement. The fight escalates further. Akaza destroys Yoriichi's ribs with a direct punch. Tanjiro tries to intervene, but is instantly blown away. Blood pours from Yoriichi's mouth. But then, his emotions disappear completely. The selfless state awakens. Akaza suddenly cannot sense battle spirit anymore. Fear spreads across his face. Yoriichi vanishes. A red blade flashes through the darkness. Akaza's arms are severed instantly, then his torso, then his neck. With a final sun-breathing slash, Yoriichi completely decapitates him using a red Nichiren blade. Akaza dies, but Yoriichi collapses immediately afterward. Steam rises from his body as if he is burning alive from inside. Later, Tanjiro tells Tamayo about Yoriichi and Michikatsu. The moment she sees them, she freezes. The same face, the same eyes, the same presence as the monster who once cornered the Demon King himself, and also that of the Upper Moon one. Tamayo warns the brothers. She tells them that their previous bond was destroyed by jealousy and pride. If history repeats itself again, humanity may lose. She also reveals the truth behind Yoriichi's suffering. His sword and body are incompatible with Sun-Breathing's full potential, but there exists an ancient katana capable of supporting that power, hidden within the Swordsmith village. After recovering in the Butterfly Mansion, Yoriichi travels alongside Tanjiro and Michikatsu to the Swordsmith village. Meanwhile, Muzan Kibusuji learns about the new Yoriichi, and instead of fear, he feels joy. This reincarnated version nearly destroyed himself just to kill Akaza. He is nowhere near the invincible monster from the Sengoku era. This time, Muzan wants revenge. He sends Gyoko alongside Kokushibo himself. Gyoko attacks the village first. His grotesque fish demons massacre swordsmiths, while Tanjiro, Genya Shinazugawa, and Mitsuri Kanroji fight desperately. Meanwhile, Yoriichi and Michikatsu meet Kotetsu. He shows them the Yoriichi Type 0 doll. The twins freeze. The doll looks exactly like them, even the mark. Yoriichi suddenly remembers Tamayo's words. In one slash, he cuts the doll apart. Inside rests an ancient blade, the original sword Yoriichi himself left behind centuries ago. The moment he touches it, the sword resonates with him perfectly. The burning inside his body eases for the first time. But then Michikatsu speaks. He wants the sword, not out of need, out of jealousy. Yoriichi refuses gently, explaining that the blade is designed for sun breathing. Moon breathing would clash against it and destroy Michikatsu's body. But Michikatsu only hears rejection. Again, always second place. Then the atmosphere changes. Cold, oppressive. Death itself enters. Kokushibo appears. The twins cannot move under his killing intent. Kokushibo stares directly at Michikatsu and begins telling his story about a brother he could never surpass, about becoming a demon for strength, about eternal jealousy. Every word pierces Michikatsu's heart. Then Kokushibo attacks. Moon breathing fills the area with crescent-shaped blades. Second form, pearl flower moon gazing. Michikatsu stands frozen. Kokushibo smiles. He continues attacking Yoriichi brutally, not killing him, only making him suffer. Physically, mentally, emotionally. And then, he takes Michikatsu away. Yoriichi reaches out helplessly as his brother disappears into darkness. After the battle, Tanjiro and Mitsuri arrive after defeating Gyoko. They carry the broken Yoriichi back to the Butterfly Mansion, and there, something inside him changes. He begins hating weakness, believing his weakness caused Michikatsu's fall. Once healed enough to move, Yoriichi stops taking missions entirely. Instead, he trains endlessly. He destroys his body daily, push-ups until bones crack, sword swings until his palms bleed, breathing exercises until his lungs collapse. Day after day, night after night, he surpasses the limits of his reincarnated body through pure effort. During a Hashira meeting, Amane Ubuyashiki reveals the truth about the Demon Slayer mark and the legendary twins of the Sengoku era. Yoriichi realizes who they truly are, not just descendants, reincarnations. During Hashira training, Yoriichi trains alongside Tanjiro personally. He teaches him the true essence of sun breathing. Eventually, he even teaches Tanjiro the 13th form. Through brutal training, Tanjiro awakens the transparent world and selfless state far earlier than canon. Meanwhile, Yoriichi trains differently. He fights all the Hashira at once. Giyu Tomioka, Sanemi Shinazugawa, Gyome Himejima, Mitsuri, Obanai, Shinobu, all together, and he defeats them. His movements become flawless. His body finally evolves enough to withstand sun breathing properly. The core realizes something terrifying. Yoriichi has finally become worthy of the name again. Days later, Muzan arrives at the Ubuyashiki mansion, but before he can strike, a shadow appears behind him. What is the meaning of life to you? Muzan freezes instantly. His arms are severed before he can react. Yoriichi has arrived, but Muzan smiles, and suddenly, the Infinity Castle opens. All Demon Slayers are dragged inside. The final battles begin. Zenitsu Agatsuma finds Kaigaku and kills him just like the original story. Meanwhile, Giyu Kiryu, Mitsuri, and Kyojuro Rengoku battle Hantengu. The fight becomes absolute chaos. Lightning storms, dragon winds, sound blasts, wooden structures collapsing endlessly. They finally locate the main body and decapitate him, but exhaustion overwhelms them. Elsewhere, Gyome, Sanemi, Obanai Iguro, and Shinobu Kocho confront Doma. Shinobu poisons him repeatedly, but Doma adapts. Sanemi and Obanai coordinate attacks from blind spots, while Gyome destroys the battlefield with his flail. Finally, Gyome lands one monstrous strike that decapitates Doma instantly. As his head falls, Shinobu injects massive poison directly into the weakened body. Doma disintegrates screaming. Then Nakime separates everyone. Yoriichi senses that familiar cold aura, Kokushibo. This time, Yoriichi attacks first. Sun-breathing flames clash violently against moon-breathing crescents. The castle itself begins collapsing from the force. Suddenly, Michikatsu appears beside Kokushibo. Yoriichi's heart breaks. But before Kokushibo can continue speaking, Yoriichi disarms Michikatsu instantly and begs him to return. He says love matters more than strength. For a brief second, Michikatsu hesitates. And that distraction costs everything. Kokushibo tries to attack Yoriichi from behind to critically wound him. But then, Michikatsu suddenly turns and decapitates Kokushibo himself. Silence fills the castle. Michikatsu tells Yoriichi to trust him, to go stop Muzan, and leave this battle to him. Their final duel is monstrous. Moon-breathing collides against moon-breathing. Entire sections of the Infinity Castle are sliced apart. Kokushibo regenerates every decapitation instantly. Michikatsu keeps attacking relentlessly. The fight becomes increasingly brutal. Finally, Michikatsu remembers Yoriichi's kindness, the warmth he rejected, the love he envied. Instead of pursuing strength, he accepts being weaker, and in that moment, his blade turns red. With one final strike, he completely destroys Kokushibo. As Kokushibo dies, he finally understands betrayal. He taught Michikatsu everything: marks, transparent world, selfless state, yet Michikatsu still chose humanity, still chose his brother. Michikatsu finally stopped being a shadow and started being a legend. If this timeline is officially peak for you, hit like and subscribe, because we're about to glaze the Demon Slayer verse so hard, even Yoriichi would be impressed by the heat. Meanwhile, Tanjiro locates Nakime and kills her using his enhanced abilities. The Infinity Castle collapses. Muzan emerges before the Hashira at full power. No Tamayo drug weakened him this time. He is stronger than ever before. Tanjiro immediately enters selfless state and slices off Muzan's arm, but Muzan regenerates instantly. Then Yoriichi appears. Muzan mocks him, calling him a weak imitation of the original. But before Muzan can finish speaking, Yoriichi performs the 13th form. The battlefield erupts in flames. Muzan's limbs are severed instantly. For the first time in centuries, Muzan panics, but Yoriichi repeats the same mistake from his previous life. He asks Muzan the meaning of life, and in that distraction, Muzan explodes into 1,800 flesh fragments. Yoriichi moves instantly. 1,500 pieces are destroyed, but 300 remain. Then another blade flashes beside him. Michikatsu arrives. He slashes the remaining 300 pieces. Every last piece of Muzan is erased. The Demon King dies, and for the first time across 2 lifetimes, the brothers stand side by side instead of against each other. The sun rises. The Age of Demons ends. Not because of one legendary swordsman, but because 2 broken brothers finally chose each other over power.